Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching Animal.
We watched Animal. Here's our review.
It was animalistic.
It was. That's a good word to describe.
Imagine experiencing
one of the most
IMAX.
Yeah, a lot of violence.
Whoa.
A lot of
questionable decisions.
Lot of questionable choices. They went with the story and with the character development.
Yeah.
It wasn't a character that I particularly liked.
No.
Because he was a nut.
He was
nut.
He was sleeping all over
feel like
place,
the first half of the movie, you're like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And then he starts to be crazy. And it all...
He lost his mind.
He was always, like, very violent.
Right,
but, like,
he was.
He started to go off the deep end in like every way imaginable, and it's like you can't really root for this guy. And I don't think, and people will say in the comments like, oh, this is not, you're not supposed to root for him. He's not the good guy. But like some of the scenes made
it feel.
It made you feel like, oh, the director was trying to put a twist on this where you can side with him, but you really can't. It's just like. That you deep down you just feel kind of disgusted because it's like he's done so many terrible things, and then when he like cheated on his wife and stuff, like and then tried to make things right again, it's like what he did was just crazy. And I don't know, there were so many things he did throughout the movie that was just like, where is this gonna go? Like what's the message gonna be? What's the message that comes out of this movie? And for me, it didn't have a great message. I know they really tried to develop the father-son relationship near the end, and that was powerful. Like that scene, if they had more like scenes like that between him and his dad,
that was a good acting performance.
That would the acting was great on both of their parts. If they would have focused more on
it would have been
his
better.
Relationship with his dad and like how that affected him. Because they would mention it, but then since it wasn't focused on, it's like, okay, is this really his motive for everything in the movie? Like, there wasn't a lot of background on why he was killing hundreds of people and then why he was doing what he was doing. But, yeah, if they would have focused more on that relationship, I felt like this could have been a lot better of a movie. But they went some weird routes with, the whole... During that whole part where he was like cheating on his wife, that was so weird. And of course, I know the twist was like, oh, he knew he was trying to, he knew all along, and he was trying to figure out what she was hiding. Well, sure,
I had to sleep with her.
Yeah, like what is that? Oh.
I understand like what they're trying, like the sins of the father kind of passing down through, but it was like a double-edged, like. You can't be trying to reconcile with your father while you're neglecting your own son, and your family, own children and your wife. I mean, that's like literally causing that emotional moment at the end to be very hollow. Yeah, and it's
you didn't feel anything.
Yeah, didn't feel anything at all, because by the time we reached to the end, we're like, this guy is terrible. Yeah, and yes, he had a terrible. Like he didn't interact, like he didn't have the time that he needed with his father, which is affecting. But
for sure,
it's like at that point, it's like, what even?
You don't need to become a psychopath,
right? How are we even supposed to feel now? Yeah, considering he's not even following through with what he envisions or what he wishes could have happened.
Well, yeah, because he was always like, "Oh, Dad, like see what it was like in my shoes," or like. Think of yourself as the son, but then he wasn't looking at his son and being like, oh shoot, I gotta be a good father. Like he totally. And then at the very end, it made like when he hugged his son, they were trying to. That was like maybe the director saying, oh, he's finally realized that he needs to take care of his family. But like,
do you think so? I don't think so.
I don't know,
because it couldn't have been it.
But it was just it was so quick, and like it didn't build up to that well at all. So I
think that last scene. I think that last scene was showing the generational trauma of it,
where that could
it's because in like 2 scenes prior, he shot a shotgun right by his wife with his kids right there. So it's like I hope they're showing that he's a horrible father.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because he was such a nut.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Irredeemable.
Yeah.
And she should have left a while ago.
I guess maybe the message of the movie is like just that cycle of like how it can turn into a cycle of you turning into your father. And that's I mean that's an interesting concept, but like when there's no other really positive there's no positive factors really in the movie.
Yep.
It's like it's really hard to enjoy it.
And the way the music affected the movie too.
Some of it was really some of the music was
I agree. I loved it, but some of it was good, but some of it was misplaced in certain scenes where we're supposed to like the cheating like certain parts where you're hearing like music that you're like, why are we listening to this?
Right. Yeah, and then also the words, and maybe this is, and I don't know if the subtitles were right, but like it was almost like a love song during some of those scenes with the other lady. And it's like, why are we trying to make this seem okay? Like, in my eyes, that was a weird choice for music.
Like the middle third of the movie, or the middle of the movie was all just off its rocker in terms of
and another thing too, it's not just that he cheated on his wife. That is obviously a huge problem. That does happen in movies though, and sometimes they don't really work it out that well in terms of the movie structure. But throughout the whole movie too, he was very just disrespectful to his life, like abusive.
Yeah.
Multiple times he's like slapped her, like did the thing with the strap, and it was like there was violence. He was just a violent man, and he assaulted her a few times, like violently, like, and that's not.
Yeah, so it's more
that's
than
not
just,
cool, guy.
No, it's you don't want to. Yeah, you don't.
Well, that's why
siding with this guy, or even.
And like if he had just like that's the thing. The whole movie was him just being a butthole to women.
Yeah.
So it's like if he was a butthole one time. Okay, and like there was a movie we watched where someone cheated, right? And then they apologized. Do you remember that? I can't remember what movie that was. But he was like, I'm so like I can't remember. It was an Indian movie, and he like cheated on the girl, and they came back together because he apologized and like did what he had to do.
Was that? Well, it wasn't Garani or what Garayan or something. No, that was a crazy movie too.
It wasn't.
Was
it
Garani?
No. It was not that one. No, that was the opposite. That was I can't remember. But like, if you explore that, I think they tried to explore too much almost, where they were going after they were the women, like he was disrespectful to women, and then also his whole dad thing. Like dial it in, focus on just the dad him relationship.
I really wish they would have focused more,
or just focus on just his sexual problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There was a ton of. Very strange, like, dialogue regarding, like, it was just there was odd fixation with, like, underwear and all kinds of other strange, I mean, it's good to have frank discussions, like, with their relationship. We're like, wow, they're pretty frank. Everything's just out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there was just some random
hanging and swanging.
And then, that was really strange, too.
Yep.
Out of nowhere.
Yep.
There was a lot of interesting
I don't think I would ever do
choices.
What?
I don't think I'd ever do that, where you just walk outside completely butt naked.
I don't think
many people would, actually.
Unless there was nobody around, but everyone was
let's just say there's no one around. Would you? I don't think I would.
No one around?
Why are we talking about this live?
I don't even want to entertain that.
I don't want to answer this question live.
I'd be afraid like a mosquito would bite me or something,
Yeah.
Regardless, it was just a movie filled with strange story choices.
Yeah.
The action was pretty
I would say.
I thought,
well, in the first half,
over the top.
There was some really like artistic like action sequences and really well choreographed scenes. Some really good like music soundtrack choices with the action scenes. Like it started off really it was like super well done, and then like the Squid Game style or like the masks.
Dude, it was
stuff.
I was in, and
I
am
in. That Gatling gun, whatever, that was
delightful.
Absolutely crazy.
Delightful.
But then after that, it was like, whoa.
So that's the thing. This movie was, and this is the thing. This movie was a really well-made movie. It was an amazingly made
You could tell they had a
movie.
big budget.
It was really well done.
CGI wasn't
Acting
really
was
noted.
good.
I mean, not that it needed CGI.
Right.
Much,
it was
it
really
too bad.
well done. Shots were amazing.
Yes.
Acting was great. Like, so many
we
things
don't
were
want to
great.
disregard
with,
that.
like,
There were some really good shots.
Ranbir did amazing in his acting.
He was unhinged.
He played a
Yes.
young, like a college student, then like mid-30s,
but the problem
then old
was
guy.
the story.
Yeah,
That was the problem that I
old
had
voice.
issues with, where it was like, wow, what are we saying? You know, like.
Yeah, it's like
the
what,
script is really
like the
strange, too.
during some of those scenes, I was like, what is the director trying to portray here? Because it's like you can't really tell what his goal is for this movie, and maybe we need to look up interviews and figure out what it is. But like, if you can't tell from the movie itself, then it's like that's not really.
Well,
a good
and let us
sign.
know, guys, what you thought of the movie
this
in
is
the
a
comments.
controversial. I'm
It's
pretty
very
sure.
And be
A lot of
respectful. People are going to have various opinions in the comments. This happens. We have various opinions.
Yeah.
Everybody be nice.
Yeah. This
Namaste.
Remember, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
So like, don't like.
Chill
this
out.
Is not
Yeah.
anything more than a movie. So.
Yeah. So
we can all have our opinions.
There's a lot of
about
ones
it,
and
we
tens
don't
in the
need to get
IMDb
crazy.
rating.
yeah,
so I
which we
feel
should
like
get
it's a
to
split.
because I feel like the comments, just based off the reviews on IMDb, there's like 31% gave this 10 out of 10. And 16% gave us a 1. Guys, like this
very
is
split.
just
It's
like
just-
ones on one side and 10s on the other.
Is this in India or in the US?
This is, I think,
You might wanna hit the
let's try US.
6.1.
So US did not like it a lot more than it looks
Wait,
like.
what's India?
India.
Oh, okay,
India liked it a lot more than US. So US, it was 20% 10 stars, 20% 1 stars. Your average is right about an 8.
Mm-hmm.
India, it was a 7.21 weighted mean. 40% is in the 10 stars. 15 is in 1 stars. So they liked it a lot more in India. I don't know though. To me, it was just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I wasn't vibing as much. I liked it. That's the
really
thing.
well
It's a
done,
good movie. It was really well done. It was fun. But it wasn't like.
But I can't.
good.
Yeah,
I
let's just say I would never like recommend this movie,
and I would
to
never
somebody,
watch it again
because it's
either.
like
No,
it's
I
just
wouldn't either.
not a good. Like it's not a positive movie.
No.
There's
And we watch movies that are depressing, so it's not like not all movies are positive, but just the overall theme
This one
of the
should be
whole
though.
movie.
If you're gonna do
was-
this funny, chaotic, you have a machine gun with 25 machine guns on it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that style of movie. It should be more fun, like a John Wick, where it's
Sure,
like
sure.
happy and like it's outlandish to be outlandish.
Yep.
This got ridiculous, and then it got too trying to be real, and then we got too okay. Now you're just a horrible person.
Yeah.
So like ethically, we're just not on your side. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then it's just like,
And then
what are we watching?
you can't really it's hard to watch the rest of the movie because it's like it's so focused on him. It's like well then wait, what's if we can't really side with him at all?
It makes
and there's
the emotional
no
part's
so like
not emotional.
in this kind of movie you got to have some more relatable characters. Like I mean, I know the wife was a good character, but she wasn't in it as much. Like near the end it was all focused on him. So it was really hard to like
I was confused about
couldn't
the
side
wife's
with him.
acting because she simultaneously acted
Ben,
crazy.
that,
a little.
no,
Like,
I
don't
totally
understand.
understood that because Ben, that's what she was just so like she was so mad that she started laughing. Like that's like a coping.
I do that when we watch these movies sometimes.
Yeah, and people.
No,
don't
I understand that.
Sometimes
I
they're
just
like,
didn't.
"Why you
I think too, like the movie, it randomly just brought up the dad's issues, but really like it only like brought it up when they're like, oh yeah, we got to bring in the dad stuff now.
Mhm.
That's what it felt like. It
Yeah,
felt like the
like
writers
at the
were like,
end,
oh, we
'cause
got to
it's-
bring in dad.
Yeah.
It was
To
like
hit-
that's
to
not
hit
that's not the
home
theme.
at the end,
Yeah, it's not the theme
Yeah.
of the movie. It's
I wish
just
they
like
would
you
have made
brought it
that
up.
more of the theme.
Yeah.
And this would have been a lot better, I think. A lot better movie.
Yeah.
So guys, also subscribe to our
yeah.
Patreon, and then you can pick
Yeah.
what movie we watch because this is what the patrons picked.
Yes.
So, there you go.
So
let's
check out the
do
Patreon.
ratings. Let's
Yeah.
do
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was about to say
I think I already
vote
rated.
for the next movie.
Yeah. So while we're voting here, guys, you guys go subscribe to the Patreon. It's $1. To vote.
Easy, super easy.
There's
to
other
vote.
tiers that get you a lot of other cool stuff too, and it does support us too.
Yeah.
It is very hard to have a React channel on YouTube because the
Copyright issues.
Copyright issue. We get demonetized all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Still feeling that 12th fail
sting strike on there.
Yeah.
So okay. Okay. I have my rating. Do you guys have your rating?
I do. I know. This is... I'm
ready?
wondering what you guys read.
Who wants to go first?
Oh, man.
Ben?
All right,
Ben, you go first.
It's between a 2 and a 2.5. I'm going to do 2.5.
Okay.
I did 2.
Ooh.
I can't believe I'm on the lower. Wait, no, you can't. No,
yeah,
Ben. You said
I was
2.5.
between it. I'm just, now that I think about it, it's just...
That's not allowed. I was like, for the first time.
You were the lowest. I can't let you be the lowest. I wanted to be the lowest. I wanted to be the
Ben
lowest.
He has his identity, too. He's got his identity.
I think, like, as I think about it more, I'm like, there were some moments, and that's about it.
What's Michael's?
It's okay.
rating?
No, I'm.
Ben just told me.
I think I'm more of a 2.5.
Okay.
I
know. Like, you really like the action.
Yeah,
stuff,
I
so
did, and I know there will be a lot of people that'll be like, "Why did you rate it a 10?" You know, and I get that vibe, but also like, yeah. I think 2.5 is fair.
And it just wasn't our movie either. It's like, okay.
It's very close to our movie.
Yeah, John Wick is fun.
It was...
It's like adjacent to an Indian movie we would like.
Yeah, but with the plot, it was just...
Right.
It just wasn't enough.
Like, stylistically, it had potential.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So,
It's like an RRR. Like, if they made it like an RRR, because it was... The vibe was like RRR, which is a really cool movie.
Yeah.
But they just needed to make it better.
Yeah.
They needed more substance.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. But that's our opinion. That's our
There you go, gang. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Be nice.
Yeah.
Peace. Middle East. Namaste.
Yes.
Shangri-La.
We'll see you in the next
Bye-bye.
video.